Mission Hope is basically an organization of 8 people, and we have a heart for Honduras.
If you let your feelings go, dear, it's scary what you'll find.
We lived in Honduras for a little over 6 years, and then we came back to the States in 2011. We weren't really sure what the Lord was doing by bringing us back, but approximately 2 years ago we had the vision for Mission Hope, and we talked about it, prayed about it, and then we asked 3 other couples to come on to be our board. Through Mission Hope, we're able to take teams back to Honduras to be part of the projects we're working on.
So I've had numerous opportunities to go, I suppose, what would you say, out of the country on mission trips. Starting back from when I was in college, I had numerous opportunities and I passed them up, and then as I started my church life, I had numerous other opportunities and always came up with excuses not to go. And so when this opportunity was presented at the Vienna Baptist Church, my wife and I talked about it and came up with excuses again not to go, and finally she said that I needed to go. And like most things in life, it was long overdue.
I didn't sign up to go on the trip, and then I regretted it after tickets had already been bought, and I felt like God really wanted me to go. And so I begged them to let me go and had to raise $800 in a week, and then it happened, so I went.
I was invited by my sister-in-law to go on a trip, and I believe it was in 2008. I'm not sure the first one that I took when it was, but I was invited by her to go on a mission trip, and she encouraged me, and I prayed about it, and I went.
I've listened to a lot of mission trip reports, and lots of times it comes back as a pretty much a vacation. And so this was not a vacation.
But most everything we do centers around cement, and cement.
We mostly were working on the church.
We do some block work, but it's all basically manual labor. It varies a little bit by the day. We mix concrete on the ground with shovels. We carry it in buckets. We put it wherever we need to put it.
We carried a lot of cement blocks.
Played with kids to keep them from cementing their feet to the ground. I was terrified a little child was going to be stuck to the church. But at least he'd know Jesus. I mean, he'd be stuck there.
One of the ministries that we take part in whenever we are in Honduras each year is going into the clinics and meeting with the new moms who just either had a baby or in their pregnancy. And ahead of time, we have asked people to provide cloth diapers, to provide clothing. We've had ministries also where we have visited the homes and provided daily food staples like rice and beans and coffee, and just the things that they can use for their families, for their home.
And we were working with fellow Christians, fellow American Christians, as well as fellow Honduran Christians, and then Hondurans that weren't Christians. But it was a very rewarding experience, and even though you were pretty tired at the end of the day, it was a very rewarding tire.
The labor is hard, but at the same time, the fellowship that we have with those that we're working with makes it an enjoyable day. I
like getting to interact with the people. They're the sweetest people I've ever met.
I remember it's a family that lives up on the hill that overlooks the church, and we were visiting their home a couple years ago, and she made a comment, and she was like pointing down over the hill, and she said, "That's going to be my church." And I don't know, I just, it struck me, wow.
Going to a foreign country or 3,000 miles away, and I'd never really been out of the country before, and you're going to a country, the culture way different than the American culture, and then so you have that little bit of a shock, and then the whole language situation, because you cannot verbally communicate mean, very minimal, a lot of pointing and broken Spanish with broken English and figuring it out back and forth.
Communicating with the contractor's son, he obviously speaks Spanish and I don't speak Spanish, but getting to talk to him via holding my hands up and asking him if he's 7 and if he's in 2nd grade, and him laughing at me because I don't know Spanish. That's one of my favorite things, because smiles don't know language, and that was a beautiful thing.
But the one thing that brings it all together is that you're a Christian and you're down there working with other Honduran Christians, and even though the culture is different, the language is different, but yet you're loving the same God and you love the same Scripture, and that bond, it's unmistakable, and it's there, and it's just amazing how somebody from 3,000 miles away, it doesn't speak your language, in a completely foreign culture, but yet you've got that in common, and that bond brings you together just like you've known them your whole life.
That church has now gone out beyond their doors and have become ministers to their villages around their main town of La Esperanza. They were sharing this year how they have started small groups, and so now that within the church they have these small groups, a youth group and a women's group and a men's group, and so each year that we go back, it seems that they continue to build on their ministries within their church, and that's a blessing to be a part of.
And that common goal just makes it amazing that people 3,000 miles away are doing the same thing that you're doing, and that's just makes it worthwhile, and that's why you need to go.
We just have an opportunity to see so much of what God's done in the last 12 years. Looking back, it sometimes it's hard to fathom, but at the same time, it makes me wonder what the next 12 years hold going forward.
There's ways to minister to the people there other than just the labor. It's building the relationships, like Jerry said. It's building the relationships of the people so that the love of Christ is coming through you and into them into you, and everybody is changed in the process. And so when God calls, the big important thing is to just listen to his still voice and go whenever he asks you to go.
But I'll definitely go again. Anywhere he sends me, I'll go. Probably Honduras next summer.
I mean, it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you time, but the reward is far more than what it's going to cost you, and you need to go.
I've said every time I've gone that I leave a piece of my heart there, and that makes me want to